Hey, what is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian, and on this channel we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, and credit cards. If any of that interests you, make sure you guys consider subscribing. But in this video, we're going to be talking about what exactly qualifies for a business. Now, the reason why this question gets asked so much is because a lot of you guys want to know what qualifies so you guys could get a business credit card. Now, I myself, I have a ton of business cards. Just on the top of my head, I have all the Chase Inc. business cards. I have the American Express Bonvoy business card, and I'm actually planning on getting a few more. But the business cards are really, really powerful, and the reason why they are is because of all the benefits that they give you. It doesn't affect your personal score. They give you a very high credit limit, and there's just a lot you guys can do to leverage business credit. I made a video on that. If you guys do not know much about it, check out my business credit card playlist. I'll have that inserted somewhere on the side or something of this video. But basically, let's talk about some of the creative ways that you guys can start your own business. Now, I don't really have to be doing this because a business is a very simple thing. I personally believe the easiest business to start is going to be an online business, because most online businesses don't need a retail store or they don't need a office location. You don't have to pay for all that. You could literally just use your home address or even a PO box that you can get for maybe $5 or $10 a month, or you could get a virtual office station by just doing some digging on the internet. But the one thing I recommend a lot of people is to say you have a retail arbitrage business. Now, what that means is you're literally buying a good for a low price and then reselling it for a higher price and making a profit. You don't have to do that 1,000 times. You don't have to make $1,000 to be in business. You just have to do it once. And because that transaction successfully happened, you are technically in business. Now, an Uber driver and a Lyft driver is another business that I recommend to a lot of people, because the only thing that you have to really fill out for Uber and Lyft is you just need to have a car after a certain age, and you have to be a certain age to actually be able to drive that. I think it's like 25 years old. Let me know if I'm wrong. It's 22, 25 for Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, but that could have changed. That was a little while ago. So that's another thing you guys can do. I know there's a lot more old school people on here that don't really feel comfortable with having a retail arbitrage or an eBay business or things like that. So let's talk more about businesses that you guys could do in person that would qualify you for a business credit card. Now, the first one that comes to mind is landscaping or lawn mowing. Lawn mowing is a service that helps out people's front yards. You can put mulch, you can cut their grass, you can pick out the weeds. That's technically landscaping. And if you do that for someone, maybe for your neighbor, and be like, hey, Billy Jung, yo, could I get your farm and actually cut some of the grass? You don't have to pay me that much. I won't do that much work either, but I'm just trying to start my own little business. He's like, sure, why not? I'll give you $10 to do this. Vroom. All right, that's it right there. You have your business set. You might not have a huge projected revenue, but the thing is, you guys, you could really honestly justify what that revenue is by projecting things really well, by speaking really well. So an example is this, you guys. So say you went to a rich neighborhood around your house and you cut their lawn. They paid you a lot of money. Say they paid you $200. Okay? In essence, what the credit card companies are asking you for is the estimated annual revenue. Because if you've only been in business for 6 months, that doesn't make sense to put your entire year's worth of revenue for that 6 months. I always do projected. So if you mow one lawn for $200, imagine if you're able to get 3 to 5 clients, okay? That already puts you maybe at about $600 to $1,000 a week. Maybe you start scaling. Maybe you get your friend, your neighbors to help mow that lawn for you. Maybe you start expanding. Because you have this business plan and because you have an idea of where you want to take the company, you can justify whatever revenue you put in there based on the amount that you've made so far. I hope that makes sense. Now, think about it like this. How about education? Education is one thing. I personally don't really recommend it, because sometimes with education they like claw back rewards, and it's just it's a little bit annoying. But education is an easy one too, because you could tutor someone or you could help them in a school subject and say you're in business. This is my side hustle. I do tutoring as a side business, and that is honestly something you guys could have down to get a business credit card. You might need to buy cost of goods with that. You might need to buy pens, papers, or you might need to even have to drive a lot to get to some of of these places and you have to fill up your tank, and these are all business expenses, and technically you are in business. So those are a couple ones that you guys could do in real life. My recommendation to you guys is get creative. There's so many things, like the possibilities are endless. I'll tell you one personal story I had. So I am an avid fisherman. I don't know if I have any I'll like throw in some photos and clips. I love fishing, you guys. Fishing is one of the big things that I did growing up. It's just one of the ways that I bonded with my family a lot. Ever since I was a kid, before I could even speak, I was probably fishing, okay? And one of the things that I was told while I was fishing about 3 to 5 years ago is I was fishing the Potomac River in DC. Now this is a really nice area. A lot of wealthy people come around here, and I was fishing, and whenever I see someone not being able to catch fish, I feel like it's my duty to be able to help them out. So I saw 2 little kids and they just couldn't catch anything, and I'm over here going, fish on, like every 10 seconds. I'm like, all right, let me help these guys out. So, you know, I tied their hook up. I told them, look, this is the way you want to fish. You want to jig it for freshwater fish right here. Don't cast 60 yards out, cast 10 feet in front of you. Just let it sit. These kids ended up having a blast, and what the mother told me was, hey, I'm looking to pay you $200 if you take them out every day after school, because my kids right now, they're just so like overwhelmed with school. They're so overwhelmed. When they come home, they're just playing video games, and when they come out, I can actually see them having fun and they're enjoying the sunlight, but they don't really know how to fish because their dad is always working and he's never home. So would you be willing to teach them? And this is a business that you could start, Brian. And I was like, guys, I was like, yo, man, you know, I already got some of my own stuff going on, but I appreciate that. And what ended up happening with that was that she told all her other friends, and all of a sudden I had all these moms that were contacting me, and they're like, can you teach our kids to fish? We could do like a session. And the thing is, for me, that's not a bad business. That's a business. If any of you guys, maybe that clicks for some of you guys watching this video, that's something you guys can do. But the whole point of that story is that you guys can get super creative. A business can happen from anything. If I get 5 or 10 kids with me out here, I'm supervising them, I'm putting the bait on for them, they're all catching fish, and their moms are paying me like $50 or $100 per an hour, and I get $500 per hour just in one day from that. That's a business. So like, you know, so the thing is, we all look at so many conventional businesses right now. We look at like dropshipping, Amazon FBA, and like eBay and things like that. And like I said, I do prefer e-commerce over a physical business, but there are things you guys could do right now and go out and make yourself a business. Now, you know, there's a ton of other things, like so I'm literally going in my desk and I'm like pulling out like random objects that I could make a business. This is how you guys can get creative. So this is a lacrosse ball right here, and I actually use this to roll out my muscles. It's called myofascial release. Might have butchered that name. But basically, this actually gives me a lot of relief, especially when I'm hunched over, sitting all day on the computer, looking like a sloth. You know, it really does help me because I can get this in tight muscle areas and actually relieves a lot of my pain. If I found one person who maybe works a corporate job, who maybe works out a lot, and I can say, hey, look, man, this is my solution, try it for a week, and if it helps you out, then I can teach you exactly what I did. Just pay me like 10, 20 bucks, and I'll send you like an email or a PDF file of how this little ball cured all my upper back problems. And this is actually true. This actually did help my back problems. Another thing is, look, I have a Polaroid photo right here. This is old school, you guys. This is something I could start a business with. I could be like, hey, look, I know we're all obsessed with iPhone, you know, portrait mode photos, DSLR, and really nice photos, but this is really nice too. Let me come out and get like a couple shots of you and your boyfriend or you and your family, and you could keep this in your wallet, okay? I won't charge you that much. Here, I'll charge you $5 for a photo. Go to an event where there's a ton of people and literally have a deck of these with you. My Polaroid camera is not actually a camera, it's a printer, so my phone takes the photo and I can print them through my Polaroid, and I can just ask people for $5 right there. I'm in business, photographer, camera, printing out. There's so many things you guys can do. Do you guys understand where I'm going with this? I'll give you guys a few more though, just in case some of those didn't resonate with you. Alright, so honestly, there's not much in my desk that I can think of. Okay, alright, there's a few things. We got this interesting quarter in my desk right here, so let me make sure that focuses. So I am not even sure what type of coin this is, but it looks rare, it looks valuable. Maybe you could get in the coin business. You could collect these from who knows where for a discounted price and resell them on eBay. You're in business right there. That's one. I have my graphic calculator right here with my man's Kakashi, you know what I'm saying? And this is another business because, like, I don't know, guys, this is kind of, like, I'm giving you guys so many tips and tricks right here. Like, this is a lot of valuable information. I can't believe I'm saying all this, but this is what goes through my head on a daily basis. So the Texas Instruments, the TI-84 Plus and the TI-84 Edition, this is what we used in high school, but there's a huge demand for it. And if you guys are in school, you guys can actually find a lot of these calculators, but you could flip them. So there's a way you guys could do it. I know if you rent a calculator from the school and if you lose it, you owe them like 25 or 30 bucks, but these calculators actually cost like 80 bucks. There's ways you guys can get things for a certain price and then reflip. Now, I want to encourage everyone to stay doing legal things. Please do not retail arbitrage, paraphernalia, and drugs. Please don't do things that are illegal, but there are a ton of things. Look, I got some snacks right here. I could go to a baseball game, and this is kind of on a weird line too. Some of these businesses, you need vendor licenses. So if it's like highly regulated, like I'm not gonna go to the Orioles game or the Nationals game and be like, yo guys, I got a lot of these, buy them. You can, but you know, there's regulations with that, so I don't want any of my Jungie fams to get arrested or ticketed for going to high populated areas and doing that. But guys, if you start your business out here, it's really fine. There's nothing holding you back, and there's just a ton of things you guys can do. So really, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys are ready to take the next step in getting your first business credit cards, the ones that I recommend is the Chase Business Inc. Preferred Card or the American Express Business Platinum Card, because it gives you access to something called WeWork, and they give you a ton of credits. WeWork is like a office space that you can get for a whole year free. They're literally perfect for entrepreneurs. Maybe you don't like working at home. Maybe you're sick of working at Starbucks. You can get a free membership for them, and it's like a $2,700 value or something, close to that. Don't quote me on that, but you definitely get a lot back in return. If you guys don't want any annual fee of business credit cards, the Chase Business Inc. Cash and the Chase Business Inc. Unlimited are two amazing Business Inc. cards. I highly recommend those two as your first cards because you don't have to worry about paying an annual fee, and the sign-up bonus is relatively easy to hit, and you get a very big welcome bonus to get back. So I hope this video actually helped you guys out. If it did, make sure you guys let me know down below in the comments below. The biggest thing I'll recommend to you guys is to get creative. Just get creative, you guys, and you will be able to start your business, get business credit cards, and just leverage that and do what you guys want with your time and your money. So guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.「見ていたはずの夢はいつも思い出せない」「そういうことが